Hello everyone, myself Chandana MN from Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, studying in Computer Science and Engineering Department, and my USN is 1VE20CS028. Today's topic is difference between the databases in NoSQL. First is definition of NoSQL. NoSQL is a non-tabular databases which stores the data completely different than the relational database. NoSQL databases are a flexible schema, as a flexible schemas, horizontal scaling, and fast queries due to the data model, and it is easy of the users use of the developers. There are four types of databases in NoSQL. First is key valued pair, documented database, column oriented database, and graph database. First is key valued pair. Key valued pairs are the simplest, where every single item in the database is stored as an attribute name or a key together with the value. Example of key value is like, and some keys values are stored such as radius and allows each to have an each value to have an have a type called integer, which adds the functionality of the database. Documented database, where pair of each database with a complex structure known as the document can contain many different keys such as valued pair, key array pair, or even nested document. Column-oriented database such as Cassandra and HBase are optimized for query over the large dataset, even and store the column of data together instead of rows. Graph database are used to store the information about the network such as social connection, and graph store includes the Neo-G4 and Hypergraph database. The difference between the databases. First is key value, where key value in the NoSQL where all the databases are within the consistent of the index key and the value. Example includes Dynamo database and Cassandra. Column databases are designed for storing the tables as a section of columns of data rather than as a rows of data. Example: Hybase and San Hana. Third one is documented database, which expands the key stores, where the document contains more complex in that they contain the data, and each document is assigned to the unique key, which are used to retrieve the document. Example: Mongo database and Couch database. Graph database are designed for the data whose relations are well represented in graph, and has an element which are interconnected and undetermined number of relation between them. Example: Polyglot and Neo-G4. Here are more difference between the databases. First is document database, where it stores the data element in the document like structure that encode the information in the format such as JSON. And the common usage of databases are content management and monitoring the web and mobile application. Here, example includes Couch server and Couch databases and Mongo databases. Graph databases are used for emphasizing the connection between the data elements and storing the related nodes in the graph to accelerate the query. And the common usage here includes recommendation engines and geospatial application. And here example includes IBM Graph and Neo-J4. Key value databases are used as simple data that pairs a unique key, and it is associated with the value in storing the data elements. Common usage of key values are storing the click stream data and application logs. It is used for aerospikes, dynamo, eddies, and trike. Wide column store, it is also known as column oriented database or table style databases, where they store data as across the table that can have a large number of columns. And common use it includes internet search and other large web scale application. And example of column oriented is Amazon and Accumula and Cassandra simple database, high H base and hypergraph table. Here is the performance of the databases. Performance of the databases includes the performance of the queries, scalability of the database, flexibility of the schema and structure of the database, and complexity of the value. First is key value store database. Performance of the query in the key value is very high. Scalability of the data is also high. Flexibility of the schema is also high. Structure of the databases are primary key with some value, and complex it has none of the complexity values. Third one is column stored databases where the performance of the query is high, scalability of the data is also high, flexibility of the schema is moderate, and structure of the databases where rows consist of multiple of columns. And complexity of the value is very low. Document stored database where the performance of the queries is high, scalability of the database is also high and it is also variable, and flexibility of the schema is high, and structure of the database includes JSON in the form of tree, and it has low complexity of the value. Graph database where the variable performance of the queries is variable, scalability of the data is also variable, and flexibility of the schema is high. Structure of the database is it has a graph entities and relation. Complexity of the value is very high. Next, how database works. In key valued pair, it works on the Redis where it is used for briskly changing the data, and it is also highly available there. And the popular databases of key valued pair is Rike and Redis. Column databases works in the Cassandra. It is used for reading and writing the extension. The popular column databases is known as HBase and Cassandra. Documented database works on the Mongo database. It is used for working, occasionally changing the consistent data. Popular data of document databases is Couch database and MongoDB. Graph database it works on Neo.js4. It is for spatial data storage. And popular databases of graph databases as Neo.js4 and Big Data. This is all about difference between the databases. In furthermore videos, we will learn more about NoSQL topics. Thank you.